Okay, for the next couple here, what I'll do is I'm going to first off expand using the distributive property. So this is 4x minus 8 is equal to 9. We add 8 to both sides, and so we end up with 4x is equal to 17. Divide both sides by 4. So x is equal to 17 over 4. And there is, you could have, same thing, you could have divided both sides by 4 and then added 2, but then we'd be adding a fraction. And it's just easier if we expand these in the distributive property and follow the steps that I just did. Same thing here. It's probably easier if we expand these in the distributive property than ending up with a fraction when we divide. In the ones previous, we didn't have a fraction when we divided through by the coefficient in front of the brackets. So this is going to be 5z plus 35 is equal to negative 3. So we subtract 35 from both sides. And we end up with 5z is equal to negative 38. Divide both sides by 5. And so z is equal to, and you can leave it as negative 38 over 5. Or you could have written negative 7 and 7.6. Now here, this is a little bit awkward. So we could multiply both sides by 3 and then divide by 2. So what I'm going to do is get rid of the fraction. And so this is leading into what we're going to be doing later. If I multiply both sides by 3, so this is 3 times negative 2/3 times x plus 1. I have to multiply the other side by 3. So this is equal to 3 times 6. And the 3's cancel out here, so we end up with negative 2 times x plus 1 is equal to 18. Now, since negative 2 divides into 18 evenly, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to divide both sides by negative 2. And I'm left with x plus 1 is equal to negative 9. I'll add 1 to both sides. Subtract 1 from both sides. And I get x is equal to negative 10. All right. For this one, it's pretty much whatever you want to do first. Just make sure you follow all the correct steps. What I'll do is I'm going to divide both sides by negative 3. Okay, so put that in brackets because you shouldn't have two signs together. So this negative 3's cancel out and we're left with y minus 1, minus 1/2 is equal to, and this is 1/2 divided by negative 3. And again, when you divide, it's the same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. So this is y minus 1/2 is equal to 1/2 times the reciprocal of negative 3 is negative 1/3. And so this is y minus 1/2 is equal to negative 1 times 1 is 1 over 2 times 3 is 6. So I'm going to add 1/2 to both sides. I'll rewrite that step. So it's y minus 1/2 plus 1/2 is equal to, I've already negative 1/6 plus 1/2. And to add fractions, you need a common denominator. So this side simplifies to be just y, and this side is negative 1/6 plus 1/2. As a fraction with a denominator of 6 is 3/6. So this is y equals 2/6, which reduces to 1/3. Now these ones, there's a number of steps you could follow here. What I'll do is I'm going to divide both sides by 0.8. And when you do that, you end up with y plus 0.1 is equal to, now 0.02 divided by 0.8 is 0.025. So now we're going to subtract 0.1 from 0.1 from both sides. So when we subtract, so minus 0.1 is negative 0.075. So y equals negative 0.075. I'll bring this down here a little bit. 1.2 so 1.2 times t plus 3, t plus 2.3 is equal to 3.96. So divide both sides by 1.2, and we're left with t plus 2.3 is equal to, now 3.96 divided by 1.2 is 3.3. So I can subtract 2.3 from both sides, and leaves us with t equals 1. All right, the next question. Again, you can expand using the distributive property. I'm going to divide by 0.6. And when you do that, 2.4 divided by 0.6. And when you see the answer, it should be obvious why it is. Okay, is 4, because 24 divided by 6 is 4, and 2.4 divided by 0.6 is also 4. So we're left with 5s minus 6 is equal to 4. Add 6 to both sides. We're left with 5s is equal to 10. Divide by 2. S is equal to, divide by 5. S is equal to 2. Now here, 11 squared is 121, so I'm going to divide both sides by 11 because I know that it's going to go in, divide through to give us not a whole number, but a decimal that we can work with easily. So 1.21 divided by 11 is 0.11. And again, 11 squared is 121, so you should see the pattern there. So when I divide this, I'm going to end up with 0.51 plus 0.4x is equal to 0.11. Now I'm going to subtract 0.51 from both sides. And subtract 0.51 from this side. And leaves us with -0.4x is equal to negative 0.4. Divide both sides by 0.4, and we get x is equal to -1. Right. Do the same thing here. I could expand these into distributive property, but I'm going to divide by 2.4 instead. And I'm left with 6.7 plus 1.2x is equal to 24.72 divided by 2.4 is 10.3. And so I'll subtract 6.7 from both sides. And I get 1.2x is equal to, and when you subtract these two, you're going to end up with 3.6. So x is equal to 3.